Where's Marcia?
I'm coming.
Okay, how are you? But you, as long as you can hear us. Marcia.
Yeah, no, I'm coming. I wanted to get my phone. It's easier for me to look at two screens that way. So I'll look at her letter.
Okay. All right, so the time is 5 o'clock or 5:01.
Sorry.
April 5th.
The 5th.
So the zoning board of appeals will come to order. We have one item on our agenda, which is 76 Fair Street, and then review of the last 2 months of meetings. So we do have more and revised information that was submitted. It was submitted kind of after the end of the working day, but I know that there's been some interest in potentially speeding up the public hearing for it and having a special meeting. Although I think the earliest we could do that would be just a matter of a few days before our next meeting. So I don't know that it's going to be worth that kind of effort. That's not something we typically do anyways, but in unusual situations, we can at least consider it. But I don't know, whether do you expect the applicant or Teresa to be at this meeting?
I do believe Teresa is here. I let her in. Let me see who all is here.
Okay.
I thought, isn't David here too? Usually there's a thing where
I
I
see
can
Teresa and David. David is not muted, and neither is Teresa. So if either of you are here, can you, if you're able to hear us, can you speak up?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. Thanks, Teresa.
Okay. I don't have my camera turned on because I just got out of the shower and I look like a drowned rat.
Understood.
So, sorry.
And is David there also?
You can hear me?
Can hear you, yep. Say if you want to be on video, you're welcome to turn that on.
Well, I see myself
see
there.
you.
I thought Marcy saw me, didn't you, Marcy?
Oh,
No.
no, not you, David. I thought I was talking about
Oh,
David. the
no,
applicant.
David Wood
Oh,
I'm seeing, but
okay,
not the.
sorry.
No.
Oh, Dave,
Oh.
That's too confusing.
Nope.
Dave Peinenberg, I guess, is not on
You
there.
need to
Nope,
change your
I don't
name.
see it. Apologies.
Okay, so we have Teresa representing the owner.
I guess.
All right, thank you for the information that was submitted. Just to kind of clarify for everybody, I don't know if you've had a chance to study this or not, the application is, particularly in the site plan, shows the dimensions that we were looking for, this in combination with the elevations. One thing to kind of know is that this is actually going to be a two-family house. The section over the garage will be a one-bedroom apartment. I think it was one bedroom. But that is a permitted use in this zone. So it's from a, hi, Randy.
Hi.
So from a standpoint of permitting, there's no special permit involved for that use. So I believe that the variances, the reviews that we have will be for a variance on the north side of where the garage is. And on the south side, there's kind of like three different sections, a two-story, a one-story, and then a one-story that's an extension on the back where for a porch that's set back further from the property line.
Right.
Then there's it's minor, but we should address it as a variance, the tree issue. Jackson was just saying that he had gone and looked at the trees and the ash tree itself, there were still cut pieces there, and it was evident that that was had some rot and had some kind of damage in it. But the maple tree, which was kind of all tangled up in it, was apparently a healthy tree. So 1/3 of the trees were removed, which is just slightly over the 30%. So we'll go ahead and kind of include that in the variance and public hearing notice and everything. I don't foresee any problem with that. And if there is, we'll probably deal with it as a, planting a new tree for mitigating that. So if we want to, first of all, does anyone have any questions?
My question is their apartment over the garage already?
There's
No,
a,
it's on the first floor now. Right now it's being used as a two rental unit house. So there's always been an apartment on the north side of the first floor.
Okay.
and since this is a new development, the parking requirement is met. If you kind of drop this picture a little bit, there's one space in the garage, one space in front of that space, and then an adjacent space between there and the property line with access by the width of the driveway or by the wider section of the driveway.
Can I
So-
ask you a question, Susan?
Sure.
I wasn't sure what to call the 20-foot front yard. Is it from the back of the sidewalk? Because there's quite a big grass strip between the front of the sidewalk and the street.
Wait, you have a survey, so it should be from the property line. I
Can
mean,
you,
it's typically roughly the inside of the sidewalk, but
okay, well, that's where I measured from. So,
Yeah.
yes, so our cars fit, our parking spaces do fit there without encroaching in the front yard. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
yeah, that was important. That's good. But this is based on a survey, is that true?
Yeah, that's what I guess those are slightly light brown lines there, and where the cursor is, that looks like the corner of the property line.
Okay,
Yeah, I did submit Kevin Yurden's actual survey with title block and date and everything on it.
oh, I haven't seen that. Okay. And this
Yeah,
uses the
Jackson has that, I think.
same data? Okay,
Yes, I do. If I did right, I attached it to this document. If I did not, I'd be glad to share it.
okay. As long as you kind of look at it and compare and don't see any kind of questions that come up or
Yep.
any other issues. And, okay, so let's look at what I want to do is kind of make sure we clearly define what the variance requests are. So if you don't mind moving it, okay, well, we can do this part first.
Nope, just tell me where to go.
Well, this is all right. So the first two, so there's gonna be a 6 foot 8 inch wide section, 2-story, and we'll get a height off the elevations.
Yep.
That is at least 7 feet 1 inch from the property line, right? That-
Well, it starts at 3 feet because you were right. We couldn't have it any closer than that and still have windows. So I
Right.
moved, so the dotted green line is showing where the building is, and the red dashed lines are showing the 3 foot, and then further up, the dot dash line is the 10-foot setback. So it's 6'8".
Yeah,
The
but
6'11", the 2-story part goes from 6'11" down to 6'8" because the property line angles away from the building.
got it. Yeah. So
So it's that right there. Yep.
all right, so we can, I guess I was gonna just deal with it as the minimum one, but we can just do both end elevations. So 7'1" to 7'4". On
I'm
the
sorry.
slope.
What's
Where do you get
7
those
foot?
numbers?
I'm sorry, I'm saying 3 foot. I guess what I'm saying is how far it is from the property line, 3'1", 3'4". So what you have there is the encroachment into the setback.
Right?
Yeah, I thought that was the part
Right.
that needed the variance.
It is. I guess I'm trying to think of just how close it is to the property line as well.
Well, it's a little over 3 feet
Yeah,
at that,
But
right
now
there.
Wait a minute, now you've really lost me. So that 3 feet, you're saying is encroachment into the setback.
no, the encroachment are the dimensions that are given there.
Yeah, the
6'11", 6'11"
Oh, okay,
into the 10-foot setback.
into the 10-foot.
Okay, so you're
Okay, so
taking that away from 10 feet. Okay, I see what you're
Right.
doing. Yep. So 3'1", which makes sense because I'm trying to stay a good 3 feet away.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So is that piece clear to everybody?
Mhm.
And this is at the bottom there. That's Cleo's house, 7.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
76, that's her house, and I think that's like a deck there on the side.
okay.
So she's in the setback too.
Yep.
Not in the same way, but okay.
It's very close. The
We just
houses are very
needed-
close.
We
Not
need a
as intense
variance
as
for
any-
that, just that part in the front, right? The 6'8" by 6'8", 6'11",
Right.
because the other part's existing, right?
Yeah, there's still section to the right, existing front section to remain. So that's tighter to the property line. That's a
Yeah.
little over a foot from the property line.
So
Right.
the brown line there that goes straight across is where the house is now. Yep, that goes all the way across. That's all part of the house now that he's tearing down.
Right.
Teresa, are we looking at roof lines or foundation here? Just so we know.
Foundation. Or
Foundation.
Wall, right?
Yeah, I assume it's the foundation, but that's a good question. I don't know. That's the survey.
I mean, as far as the newly drawn green dots here proposed.
I would say it's gonna be finished wall, right?
Yeah,
And I don't know what your overhangs are, but as long as you don't, I'm pretty sure you're allowed like 18 inches maybe or something, but
they're not going to be that much. I think
okay.
it's less than a foot.
Okay, and those are shown accurately on the elevations,
I'm not sure that they're dimensioned, but yeah,
but they're scaled at least.
they could be for, I've got to resubmit the drawings for HPAR by Thursday
Okay,
for their meeting next week. So if I need to dimension those, I can.
okay. Yeah, that, anything would help. Okay, so we have that 2-foot section that we just talked about. Now the next section is much deeper. It's a 38 feet, 4-inch section.
Mhm.
It goes from 6 feet, 8 inches to 5 feet, 5 inches.
Right.
Encroachment. And that's 1 story,
One
but it's,
story. So that's a shed roof coming down
right,
towards the, pitching toward the south.
right.
And it's about 9 feet high. The grade does drop off to the back there, but it's roughly 9 feet high, which you can see in the elevations.
Okay. And then the last section is 1 story,
Mhm.
and it is 1 foot, 1 inch to 7, let's see, 13 feet, 8 inches long. Ranging from 1 foot, 1 inch to 7 inches encroachment. Does everyone see that part?
Yes.
Okay. If you could move it so we can see the garage side.
Track pads are so sensitive. Here we go.
Okay. All right, so the garage footprint is like deeper in the front and the back for a total of 30 feet, 10 inches.
Right.
So 1 foot, 5 inch to 2 feet, 5.5 inch encroachment. Okay, can we see the elevations that, I think the elevation showed the kind of existing structure dash and.
Where would you like to start?
Actually, I thought they were,
It's
Maybe-
the north and south elevations, the next sheet, because that's where I put all the
Okay,
dimensions.
that's
There you
all
go.
right.
Yep,
okay, thanks.
it's the north.
So let's do the garage piece that'll show on that elevation.
Am I looking at it right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
just hold it right there, so. Okay, so this is gonna go,
You had asked me last time, Susan,
Yeah.
for the additional height within the setback, so that's what
Yeah.
the 8
No,
foot
I-
7 and the 11'3" are.
I'm just trying to think of how to describe this.
So is this new garage higher than the original house?
It looks like the ridge is.
Yeah, yes.
So you can see the kind of red tiny dash line is the outline of the existing garage. And there used to be another kind of greenhouse or something. Do you know where that?
There was a shed off that north side, and then the greenhouse was off the back, kind of where we're showing
Oh,
that
okay.
3-season porch.
Okay,
He's already taken those down.
yeah. So we will have these drawings to refer back to also. Maybe one approach would be just to reference it to the front elevation, noting that it does slope down, but at least it, the existing 9-foot 8-inch high garage, an additional 8-foot 7 inches. But actually the 8-foot 7 is a little bit overstated because it's only the piece that's in the setback that would, it doesn't exceed the height limit. It's only the piece in the setback that we really are.
Well, I thought that I had gone from the front elevation of the garage and saw where the plane of where it crossed the setback line, roughly.
Is that high?
Well,
Is that steep? I thought it's only 1.5 feet or so into the
yeah, I know what you're saying.
encroachment.
Oh, I could double check that. I thought I'd done it right, but maybe I didn't.
You
Or
wanna
maybe, I don't know if I'm
elevation?
considering that the dormers are flush with the wall. Maybe I was thinking that.
Oh, that probably makes
I think
sense.
that's what it is. It's the dormers.
Okay,
So, yeah.
so that's the furthest encroachment piece. All right.
Mhm.
So, Marcy, do you think you're going to do this? Well, we'll deal with it the actual motion next time, but we need to be able to.
Do you need the
describe-
width of the dormer, Susan? Because I realize now, I think I had more windows. I had a slightly wider dormer before. So I think that's why those 11-foot 3 and 8-foot 7 lines are way out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Whatever.
at least that does seem accurate for the dormer. I don't think we need to kind of like take each little piece with and without a dormer,
Okay.
particularly because we have the drawing to kind of reinforce the information that's in
Okay,
the
so I'm standing in the driveway, right?
next door. Yeah,
Not Cleo's side, the other
on
side.
the other side. Yeah,
North, yep. This is
Okay.
looking at the north side of the garage.
right.
Okay, but I'm looking south.
Right.
Exactly. You're looking south.
But it's the north elevation.
I know.
The eternal problem.
Okay, so what the dormers are on the new construction.
Correct.
That's going to be the 2 floors. So it looks like the garage is going to be on top of the dormers.
No,
I'm having some spatial problems here. Can you tell?
yeah,
Well,
the
see
garage
where
is
it
on the
says-
first floor.
Where it
And-
says 3 feet there, that's the front edge of the garage. And you're going to drive into the garage from the left toward the
Right, but
right.
that's going to have a second story on it, right?
Right.
And then you go up some stairs. You know what, Jackson, go up a little bit and show Marcy the first floor plan. Maybe that'll help.
That
The
original
plan for
garage is
the-
gonna be,
So there's our elevation of our
Oh,
proposed
this is looking at the
Maybe that
front
helps.
door. Okay,
from the sidewalk. Yep.
okay.
the
So right
original
now it's a
garage
very
is
low
gonna be,
one-car garage.
So the dormers are on the garage, the new
Correct.
Yes.
garage construction.
Yeah.
Okay,
On the new garage.
got it.
second story.
Yep.
Right, gotcha. Okay,
And the application states that the existing apartment inside of the historic portion of the home is going to be moved to above the garage.
Right.
Here
okay.
comes David.
Okay.
Make sense, Marcy?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
The original garage is gonna be deconstructed, correct?
correct.
Right.
Yep, and that's why we see here in the red outline, if you can see it
Right.
on my computer, that's the existing, and that's going to be deconstructed to make room for this larger one.
Right. Makes sense to me.
All right.
Oh, where's the window? There's supposed to be a window there. Oops. Oh, maybe they got it.
In here, Teresa?
No, on the first floor.
Ah.
Yeah, there's a bathroom there on the first floor. Anyway, whoops. It's already on the other drawings. And Dave just told me he wants 2 windows on the north facade of the garage there as well. So I'll be adding that.
Okay.
But the dormer's not changing or
No,
nothing of the form.
nope.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to guess it may be, we'll certainly reference the drawing, but maybe that just for simplicity, if we say there's an existing 9-foot 8-inch high garage on the east side, which is the front, And it's an additional 8'7" that is the extension, the height of the variance needed. Or we can just talk about it as a second floor and refer to the drawings for the dimensions.
Yeah.
Pretty
Could
confusing.
do a little bit of both since we've got a grade change here. And so it's,
Yeah.
it's not, it can't really be clearly stated in writing.
Right. I used to like, sometimes Michael would take like little sections of the drawings and actually inset those into the minutes too. That might help in this kind of situation.
Yep. I can work with Marcia on that.
Yeah,
And Marcia, feel free to take screenshots of anything I'm sharing here, but
but if, I mean, not that we need the rest of the pieces, but just the section that has the dimensions noted so you could actually still read them.
Yep.
Okay. All right, can we go to the south elevation?
oh, shoot. I'm lost now. Okay.
There it is.
Okay,
Okay, so now I'm standing on Cleo's property.
right,
Okay.
right. So you can see that there's an existing two-story section, or I don't know if it's finished space, but at least, or a higher roof section where it shows approximate extent of existing structure. So
That was a bedroom or something back there.
it was there, okay.
Yeah, on the second floor.
But I'm guessing that roof is pitching with the ridge runs east-west. So this,
Yes.
the
The
second story
approximate
section
extent of
does,
existing, yeah, there is a ridge coming right off the peak of the front part. Yep, exactly.
okay,
Back to about there. And then there's a shed over what was, I guess, sort of like a laundry kitchen area.
okay. So yeah, I don't know how we're going to describe this except to, so there's a little section of this new two-story piece that actually extends beyond the existing roof that's on the house right now. It goes up to a total of 17 feet 1 inches high.
Oh, this, yes, right. Mhm.
And then the next section is longer, but some sections are shorter than the existing roof.
And there, you can see that dimension, the 12'8", 12'8" within the setback. That's because the roof is pitching down. So it looks like it's going above the roof, but that last little bit, that last few feet it's a very shallow pitch.
Okay,
And then that's just a guess. The next one, the 13'8" height within setback, because,
Mhm.
I didn't shoot grades back there and they're not on the survey. So, I looked at my photos and just kind of guessed.
all right. Okay, so that section will,
So,
one,
all right, so the house ends at that 11.2.
currently, yes.
Okay.
All right. And then the back piece is all new, so it's okay. 13 feet down to 13.8. All right, so maybe I don't know, Jackson, I don't remember how detailed you describe things in the public notice, or if you just say setback variances or.
I can make it as detailed as you'd like. But the plans will be available for review at the village office, and that should be, if somebody cares to wrap their head around this, then that would be the way to do it, I believe.
Okay.
Good luck.
So I would describe it as, side yard setbacks on the south property line and side yard setback on the north property line. And then what would be helpful is when you do the agenda for next time, that you describe more specifically what each of the variances are dimensionally.
Yep.
And then it'll be supported by the drawings.
Sounds good.
Okay. And then in addition to this, we'll have the public hearing also for a variance for the trees that have already been removed, but just to address that issue of them being greater than 30%. So I don't know if you were on yet, Teresa, but there was some attempt to try to schedule an earlier public hearing, which we don't typically do, but we were trying to see whether we could accommodate that request. But with the amount of notice that it needs, and also with the other kind of uses of the board of the village hall, it could, the earliest could be only be like about 4 or 5 days before our next meeting anyways. So I think, and I understand you're going to be on vacation both of those times anyways.
Right.
So I think we will just wait and schedule this for our May meeting.
That's May 3rd.
First Tuesday. Yep, May 3rd.
Right.
And Jackson, when you'll send out actual notices to all adjacent property owners on, north, west, south, and also across the street, everybody that kind of encircles this.
I do believe that for this one, it's 400 feet.
No, I think that's only for a special permit.
Okay. I'll double check, but yes, it will be.
I was saying unless it changed and I don't really remember it, but.
Okay.
But the 400 feet, I believe, is for special permits for tourist accommodations, and this is a permitted use.
Yeah. Okay. That would be better.
So, Teresa, just for your information, the letter that we received last time from the adjacent owner had a couple things that probably are really just best worked out. I mean, they certainly will get a notice and may come to the public hearing, but they were concerned about the foundation, particularly as it was initially presented because it was so close to the property line. And also concerned about an existing fireplace that may not be up to code and that the smoke enters directly into their house. So those are items that would be a good idea for the owner to kind of review with them, because those are really more kind of, civil and neighborhood issues than they are zoning issues.
Yeah, the fireplace, that's in the part that's going to be demolished, and there's no intent to put another fireplace in.
Okay, that's good.
So, and the chimney, both chimneys are non-functioning on the existing front portion, so we're asking for those to be removed also.
Okay. That's H part.
Yep.
Right, good. Okay, then, so I guess it's really just a concern for how you're going to do construction and not damage their property.
Right.
Okay. All right, does anyone else have any questions?
Did you review that supplementary sheet with the 6 questions? Is that all clear?
I looked at it. I never really looked at things before as like the kind of cubic area. We haven't really,
Oh, yeah.
but do you want to put that up?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody, if you want to kind of look at this briefly and see if there's any questions, since Teresa won't be here next time to answer questions. So this will go to HPARB, and do you think it's likely to be a decision made at their meeting before we have our public hearing?
Hope so.
Okay.
I know Dave hopes so.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Okay.
That is the that would be the progression.
I didn't know how much they had already looked at her.
Well, they set the public hearing, so that's what's coming up
Oh,
next.
but that's for the demolition piece.
That's
Okay,
correct. So they still need to look at the final drawings from that will be submitted,
okay,
but I do not know what their decision will be.
okay.
Okay.
Any questions anyone has? All right, so we'll set the public hearing for the May 3rd meeting for those variances, both on the south property line and the north property line, and also for tree variance exceeding 30%. Apparently the variance, the existing removal of one tree, there are two others that are 6 inches or larger, so it's 33% instead of 30. So it's similar, but slightly over the limit in the zoning law. All right. Okay, set the public hearing for that then. And
Will do.
Jackson, you'll send out the notices.
Yes, I will.
All right, thanks.
Post it in the paper.
And we expect to be in person next time.
Governor's order expires on the 14th. So
Okay,
that is the plan, is to be back in the village hall.
okay. I would just make that clear in the public hearing notice.
Will
just
do.
Because it's a change. Thank
Yep.
you.
I don't know if Dave is going to be able to be in Cooperstown. Dave, are you?
I'll try to make it. I can't promise, but
Okay.
it's about a 3-hour ride from where I live. So I'd have to, leave like 1:30 to make it there. It starts at 5 o'clock. But if you're not going to be there, Teresa, I probably should be there in person just to answer any questions.
Unless they're still going to do Zoom as an option for out-of-town owners. Jackson, you had mentioned that possibility.
Just for accessibility issues, the value of having it online has been noted. But there currently isn't really a established way to do that. But it's kind of going to be up to us to make that determination whether or not we want to still provide. I mean, the big issue is that the way the trustees meetings are currently structured is that which they are still meeting in person and broadcasting it, but there's no way to have that interaction. So I could
so
possibly,
it's not live.
right, you can watch it, but you can't comment. So I could bring my laptop down and we could try to figure it out. If you can't make it, Dave, just let me know and I'll do my best to make that happen and ask for a Zoom link as well.
Okay, thank you.
Certainly. Thank you.
Okay. But certainly we want to, I would say let's only do that in extreme situations because that's going to be kind of crazy going forward.
It will.
Right. And then certainly for any kind of public that they would either have to respond in writing or attend in person, just like we have historically. All right. Okay. Then I think we're all set on this property. The next thing on our agenda is to review the minutes. We have both March minutes and February minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Night.
Thank you, Teresa. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
For the March minutes, do we have our people here? Yes.
Yeah, it was you and me and Dave, I know. And I forget
No,
if
it's
Randy
you
was-
and me and Randy in March.
I'm thinking of February. I
Yeah,
think
oh,
we-
so sorry. No, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from March.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion? Everyone have a chance to look at it? And I know I've reviewed it. Okay. So who was at that meeting? Who can vote?
You, me, and Randy.
Just the three, okay. I'll go through then. All in favor, Marcy,
Aye.
Randy,
Aye.
Susan, aye. No opposed. So those are approved. And then February minutes, I believe it would take, I think the only three here are Marcy, Dave, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've read those last month. Does anyone want to take a time and look at them again?
I'm good.
I'm fine with them.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Second, all right. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor? Dave, you want to vote yay or
Aye.
nay? Aye.
Yes.
Marcy?
Aye.
Aye. Susan? Aye. So 3 ayes and no nays. Those are approved also. Good, we're caught up. Okay, good. Any other questions? I will report that Denise is having to step down from our board. So Randy, you are moving up and you are an official, full-time, full-fledged member of the board now. Congratulations. And we're now looking for 2 different alternates so we can fill those positions. So if anyone has any recommendations, send them to me or send them directly to Ellen, the mayor. It's up to the trustees to actually fill those roles, but it's hard to do. So any assistance is welcome.
Looks like we lost Randy there, but
Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
I don't know if you were able to review the materials that I sent out just kind of regarding the governor's order and the open meetings law, but it did sound like going forward they were going to be trying to find some way to do a hybrid of virtual and in person. I don't know exactly how that'll go, and it's not the case yet, but
A hybrid that's participatory, you mean?
correct. Yep.
Okay. Oh,
Yep.
I actually did not read through that.
It seemed like it would allow for, I don't know, there's some language in there which I can't tell if it means you, Teresa, or you, Susan, or myself to be at the village hall so that people can be there in person. But theoretically, everybody else at some point in the future, I don't think it's been legally, stated in legalese yet, but it seemed like it would be quite a feat to accomplish. But
Yeah, I interpret it as a proposal.
Right.
Was it closer than that, do you think? Because
no, I think it's a
part of me when
proposal.
I was reading it was sort of thinking, oh, I'd love to have it, frankly, like today.
Right.
The last thing I'd want to do is schlep down on my crutches, no less, schlep down to the village office building. But if you didn't have a quorum, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
But so I didn't read it, I apologize, but so is it kind of being considered as something where there'd actually be minimal on-site and most people would be Zoom?
It seemed like it was mostly an accessibility issue and just seeing the value of also having the Zoom option. And once that's there, then board members could come virtually as long as there was someone at the physical location where the public could come and participate directly as well.
Okay. All
So,
right.
It
And it was
sounds
just-
too like to make it work, you'd need some kind of technology, which I don't know the village has. I mean, I know at the Hall of Fame, they have a large screen that they can interact with people off site, which seems the only way to be able to do it. I can't picture it on somebody's laptop.
right. It would have to be Zoom on a projector or something, but it was just
Yeah,
something that
yeah.
the mayor shared with me that I passed along because it might come up in the future, but because
So,
like you
is
said.
it likely that if that works out, that would also then be available online to review, like on the YouTube channel? That somehow captures both people who are there and who have appeared on Zoom?
Similar to the trustees, it would be something we'd have to discuss with Kyle, our tech guy
Yeah.
who sets up our Zoom meetings to see if we can do a crossover that's not if we can record the Zoom interactions via the YouTube recordings. So
Right.
it's a brave new world, but yeah.
So even the way that the trustees are doing it now, doesn't Kyle have to do a physical setup each time there's a meeting?
I believe that the clerk, Jenna's able to do
Oh,
it for them. I do
okay.
believe, but it's probably Kyle that has to turn on the YouTube recording, but I can discuss with Jenna and just try to,
Okay. Well, that doesn't seem very different than what it is right now.
right.
I thought somehow extra people had to be on site more than they normally would have, and it would be a kind of personnel challenge to, be able to provide that. Okay, that's good. So, but for next time, unless something happens differently or the governor decides something different, we will have that meeting Zoom. And then if the owner needs to access it via, I'm sorry, that won't be in person. If the owner needs to access it via Zoom, then make that exception for him. Okay,
Okay.
all right. So motion to adjourn,
So moved.
second,
Second.
all right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All
Bye,
opposed?
goodbye.
Yeah,
Oh, how was the wedding?
it was lovely. Thank you very much. We're still tired, but it was
Yeah,
very good.
wow.
Yeah, very good. Why are you on crutches?
Oh, I broke my foot. Remember when you last saw me, I was limping? Yeah, well, guess what? I had a broken bone in my foot.
Oh, no.
So I got one of those lovely big black boots
Uh-huh.
and I can't put any weight on it. Yeah.
Sorry.
The fun keeps coming.
Gosh. All right. All right. Well, good night. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Okay.
Marcia.
Night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all.